Hello, everyone. This is Chris Huffman, and today I'm going to be going over the MVC pattern with you. And the MVC pattern stands for Model View Controller Pattern, and this pattern is used to separate an application into different parts. And I've already built a little example um, for my MVC pattern on here, and I'll go through it and show you what everything is. And so the three parts are the model, view, and controller. The model layer represents an object that carries data. It can also have logic to update the controller portion if the data changes. The view represents the visualization of the data that the model has. And then the controller acts on both the model and the view. It controls the data flow between the model object and then updates the view whenever that data changes. And it keeps the view and model completely separate, so the user only interacts with the one section. And so on here, what we have is a just a little program that I've built. And the first thing I did was I made the model layer, which is the student.java, which is what I have right here. And the student.java, it has the public class of the student, and then it has a string to get the roll number and the name of the student on there. And then the next thing I created was the view and what the user actually sees on here. And this is our public class of the student view. And they will see the student, the name, and the roll number. And it prints that out on here. And I'll show you once I run it for you to see what that looks like. And then the last part on here is the controller. And this is what goes through and updates and changes all the information. Now, to make the demo work on here, I used a MVC pattern.java right here to show you the strings that all the methods and everything that will happen. It has a basic little code on here to get everything that you need. And so this is a public class, the MVC pattern. And the first thing it does is it fetches the student record based on the role information from the database. And for this example, I just have a little database. You can implement a Hibernate and serverlet and have it linked up to an actual database. But for this example, I just made a little student database right here. And then it creates the view and writes the details on the console. And then it updates the data. And so to show you that in action, I'll go ahead and run that really quick. And then it runs it, and it pops up the student name or the student, and then it pops up the name Christopher, 127 days, and then another student, and this is Chris, also 127 days. And so it takes all this information that we had in this database right here and the model that we initially used, and was able to show us what it would output. And if you had this set up to use an actual database through Hibernate and whatnot, you could pull all sorts of information, anything that you needed out there. If you're having to update inventory for an app for a store, you had to see what inventory you had on hand. You could go ahead and have a form you filled out, put the information in there, and it would check that database and pop that information up just as this did. And so this, without having to dig in and write all of the information out by hand that you would normally have to do when trying to query stuff out of a database using the MySQL or Oracle. So I hope this video was helpful on how the MVC architecture works and how it can help an application get a little bit more streamlined, where the user doesn't have to dig in so deep into the application to try to do things. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.